what it looks like for me is me saying, God, I know people might say, this girl, what was talking about? But sissy, this is honestly how I do it. God, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Like the thoughts in my head are not aligning with what you say. And if you said this, then why am I feeling this way? Right? And I know that you're not a God that you should lie. So something that I don't, something isn't adding up. So, but there is this piece, and I've said it before, right? There is this piece, no matter how, and I don't know if anybody, even when I was younger, in the back of my head or in my heart, there's this little spot there, sis, that no matter how the heavy noises are there, there's still that peace that, like, you are loved, you're important, ever since I was little. So no matter what I could do, no matter how far, there's that little thing in me that's always telling me, you're great. And so that's what I roll with. The smallest, that not the loud ones. Because if I roll with the loud ones, Moja, I would be out my mind.
I love that.
Around in a New York half naked.
Mad woman, just mad. Right. So that's really, really nice. We have to remind ourselves, and unfortunately, it's a struggle for some of us to remind ourselves that we are worth it and that we're worthy. We're worthy to be treated correctly. We're worthy to be treated with respect and love and honor and all of that. And sometimes that happens because of our past, because of some of the things that we've gone through. But I can't stress it enough that we need to start acknowledging some of the things that we've gone through. Sometimes I sit back and I listen to myself and I ask myself, it's like I'm talking to me and I'm just like, all of that stuff that you went through, you didn't deserve that, you did, and I have to tell myself, girl, you did not deserve that. Don't you ever feel like, oh, one, because you stayed, or you deserve it, or because you went back, you deserve it, or whatever it is, you didn't deserve any of that. It's really nice when you remind yourself that, hey, you are worth it all. You're worth it all. And now that leads me to the whole perfectionism, right? Right. We we have to remind ourselves as well. We are not perfect beings. Neither is the next person down the street or the person around the corner. They're not perfect. But once you recognize that you're not perfect within self, then you can start looking at yourself and all the flaws that you deem as flaws. And hey, you know what? That's just part of me, right? So, how do you feel about that word?
So one of the things that a lot of people don't know about me, I think you would know about me, and a few people, I struggle with perfection. And if it's not perfect, then I feel like it's not good enough. I struggle, even at work, so sometimes it holds me back because I want it perfect. One of the things that held me back for years of dating was a perfect man until reality hit.
Ooh.
I thought that he's gonna come and he's gonna be perfect, and my version of perfection would be the blue eye, the six, yeah. And so I want perfection, right? Until I realized, yo, Car, you're not perfect.
Ooh.
You're jealous. You're
with them.
there are things about you that's not cute. There's things about you that you need to change. So how can you look for perfection in others, but you far from it? And that is where reality hit for me. And so it started to create a better relationship for me and others around me. And even being able to forgive, because I held so much thing in, because you're supposed to perfectly love me. What does perfectly love me look like? And I was just sitting here and something just dawned on me. Why, when as women or as people we get good treatment, we're so excited about getting good treatment when it should be normal. But then when we get the bad treatment, we're so comfortable with it.
Girl, like, hey, I'm gonna read this real quick, right? The article says here, it says, say goodbye to perfectionism. It says perfectionism is the enemy of progress. It sure is. It can hold you back from pursuing your dreams, trying new things, and enjoying life to the fullest. Say goodbye to perfectionism and focus on progress instead. No one is perfect. It is okay to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are opportunities to learn and grow. I think that's what Shadrach just made mention, something similar to that. Um, and then it also says it is important to try and stay clear of perfectionism, right?
Ooh.
Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may be, and be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. When
Oh
things don't
wow.
go.
No, let me tell you. Oh, let me tell you now, sissy. That's a struggle. You're gonna have to pray for me because I go to the hair salon and I show her style and I don't feel like it's perfect. And you invite me out, I'm canceling the plan.
Oh, you are?
That's how bad
Because you
I
think that the
struggle.
hair isn't perfect enough. Oh. Okay.
That's Kels. That's how bad it is for me with when it comes to perfection. And
You have
so
some
I
work to
even
do with
shut
that.
out. I shut out like. Well, I'm not in the game of potential, but when I was in the game of potential, Tracy, that man could have been coming, and his shoes don't look according to how his pants is. I'm not talking to you because it's not perfectly aligned.
Okay. So are you still in that now, or have you matured a little bit from that?
I still struggle.
You still struggle. So that's something
Hmm.
that you can write down on your vision board
Hmm.
is how you can release yourself from
Hmm.
those habits, those ways, those thoughts, right? So make sure you jot that down, because that's something that you can work on. Because the sooner we recognize that this whole, I don't know who came up with the word, but I guess the word was necessary to come up with so we can kind of steer ourselves away from her to know what not to do. So write that down. Write that down, darling. Make sure you have that written down.
Yes, yes.
Showing up for yourself, right? Another way is moving your bodies, being active, being active. Um, and this part can be a little bit tricky because I don't want people to feel like we're talking about, or trying to body shame in any way, shape, or form. But being active, it says physical activity has numerous benefits for the mental and physical health. Moving your body helps to reduce stress, improve moods, boost your self esteem, and increase energy levels. It doesn't matter if it's a yoga class, a brisk walk, which you do often, Sissy, or a dance
Hmm.
party in your living room. Find an activity that you enjoy and make it a habit. Your body will thank you for it. And so, not always when we say be active or move your body, are we talking about exercise? We're not always talking about that. Just saying, don't be stagnant in a way, right? Move your body, get your juices flowing. We talked about that earlier, where how to maintain, like a good mental state is also to work out, to do active things. Go for a walk. The moment you start walking and you start thinking about things, you may even sometimes be walking and thinking, and you start to shed a few tears. Wipe them tears as you go.
I
And the
mean,
more you keep walking on that journey and keep going, I'm telling you, soon those tears won't be flowing anymore. And you're now going to have to boost yourself. You know what? I got this. You know what? I'm done with that. Oh, I recognize this or I recognize that. So moving your body is a very, 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 very good way. What do you think?
there's something that I do. I don't know how effective it will be for others, but it's simple. Inhaling, exhaling. When you inhale everything. And when you exhale, and you're releasing it. It sounds crazy, right? It sounds like, girl, what are you saying to me? But you see that lump in your chest? once you can feel it in your chest, you know that when you inhale, you feel that lump right there. Then you know something is going on. But you see, when you can inhale and you can exhale, and that lump in your chest is not there, it's
Child.
it hits differently.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a really, really good thing, breathing in and breathing out. I guess there was some, they knew what they were on to when they say it. When they're calm and you're telling you to calm down, or when your anxiety is on 10, take some deep breaths, deep breaths, and release it slowly. Don't just blow it out. Release it slowly. And the more you do that, the more your lungs expand and get the amount of air that it needs. It's the more your brain oxygen goes to your brain, the clarity, you think clearer, a lot of things. So yeah, sometimes it may just feel like this lump here. That's all the stuff you're carrying, all your trauma, all your burden, all of that stuff right here. And it won't work for everyone. And sometimes even if it works, it won't work right away. But the more you do that, and you know exactly what you're inhaling, you're remembering all that you've gone through. That's your inhaling. Your release of the breath is what you're now releasing, the fact that you've gone through all of that. You can't do nothing else about it, but you can move forward healthily. That's what that is. It's an inhale and an exhale. And pretty soon that lump that you always had, like she said, gone. You're starting to breathe freely. That's a little bit of freedom right there. That's that peace of mind. Oh,
Breathe
God.
again. Breathe again, like Tony.
Breathe
We're not doctors.
again.
We're not doctors. We're not therapists. We're not.
No, we're not.
We do work in the medical field. Don't get it twisted now, but we're not doctors. We're just
We
sharing
know
experiences on things that help us, and we want to be transparent, and we want to help someone, and we want you guys to share. Come in the chat, talk with us. You're on the FYP. Just follow us. Come chat with us so we can all grow together.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We a lot of times we don't set aside like time for ourselves. Like we just need to start doing that a little bit more. Now my question when we come to that is, do you feel it is selfish? Do you think it's a selfish act to take time for self?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You can call me selfish car or selfish too. Call me that, right? Tracy, I'm at the point now where I'm gonna turn something down if I have to turn it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm no longer, I'm gonna ride it through with you. No, I'm not a donkey. I'm not a mule. No. I'm sorry. It doesn't. If it's gonna bother my mental.
Peace, deuces. Yeah, deuce. I agree with you. And I am in a stage now too in my life where I'm not afraid of walking away from anything or anyone, really and truly, for the sake of my peace, and all of that. I'm not afraid, right? A lot of people are afraid of walking away. They're afraid of being alone. They're afraid of all of that stuff, and that's because they don't know what being alone is. Being alone don't necessarily mean that you have nobody around. It just means that who you have around is a little bit more selective, and it means more to you, right? It's not just everybody access around now. It could, even if it's a partner, right? So it just means that you're now a little bit more selective with whom you have around you. So I have no problem as well in taking that time to put me first, and I don't feel like it's selfish at all.
Me either. Everyone doesn't get access to you, because if that was the case, God would have put it. But He said, you're peculiar.
You're set apart.
Set apart. If you're set apart, not everybody. You can't go into those luxury stores and just put your hand on the people and products. You can't go into no Celine or no what's the next one? Chanel and or any big designer and go in there and put your, that's luxurious stuff. You're not touching that. Can you afford it? Can you
Here,
afford
can
it?
you? Right.
Can you afford me? And I'm not talking about money wise.
Uh-uh.
Sissy, can they afford you? Whether it's friendship, family. Listen, he said you're set
Always.
apart, you're holy. He made you, and so that means if my dad is king, then what am I?
What am I? Okay,
You
I'm
don't
not
get
just for anybody. Okay,
talk about it. Talk about it. That's it.
I'm not just for anybody, and that's the truth. So I agree. Not everyone have access, and sometimes that looks like me saying no to you. Sometimes that looks like me walking away from you and choosing me. So and that's how I know how to do that. There's some confusing. There's some ways that we've tricked ourselves into thinking that it's selfish. And I'm just going to list a few of them here, some of the ways. One of the ways is saying that I must please everyone. I want to please people. I want them to feel good. I want to make them happy. And if I do it, I'm a bad person, right? Sometimes, we prioritize others, right? Oh, they need it. Oh, I don't need to do something for myself right now. They need me more. And so we neglect ourselves and go and do that for them. Right. So those are some ways that we fool ourselves. We trick ourselves into thinking. But yeah, girl. So
You know, it's so easy, sis. That's why I guess we gotta stay constantly just in the word, reassuring ourselves, and don't be so much caught up in the spiritual that you forget that you're human.
that you're human.
Because the struggle is real.
So
Because you're
yes.
walking among people, you're doing that. Sometimes the one you want to talk to is entertaining others, and that hurts so bad. So I'll say this to you, right? And my sister will, because she soon have to go, so I know. But let me say this to you. I heard something. The heart, the Bible says it. You see this? Don't follow it. Don't follow.
Yeah.
Correct me, sis.
Once for the once. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wants what it wants, but doesn't mean that it's for you. Anything that you have to chase as a woman, let it go. It ain't for you. It ain't for you. Who God has for you, you're gonna know because it aligns with His word.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
you're more
does.
than enough. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be cared for. You deserve, and sometimes that means not being in a relationship, but just taking time with self and saying, "Listen, I have to work on this. This is what I need to work on." And trust me, I have to do it. And there are times when I have to stop, fall back, and say, "Clara, come back again. Go sit
Yes.
down, reevaluate. Why you keep getting at this crossroad?" So and this is just me. Again, I'm not a therapist, but I can share from experience. If you want to entertain the person and they're entertained by others, they're not looking your way, and that's just the raw reality of it, right? And so
Yeah.
therefore, look for somebody who will pursue you intentionally.
So now, if you could tell someone anything, what would you tell them pertaining to what we're talking about? What would you say to them today?
The only way you can get to self is once you connect with God first, right? Because then we're blind when we don't have Him. And so what He does, He takes the veil off your eyes. And then now you're seeing yourself. You're seeing the good, the bad, the ugly, right? The indifference. But do know that through it all, He loves you regardless. So He makes it available for you to come and say, "Hey, I'm like, be transparent with self, right? Talk to God like how you would, we have to be honest with self." And I was saying that start with God first, right? I'm not pushing religion, but I am telling you, the truth, that you only find self through God. I'm sorry, this is not religious for me. This is this truth. Because again,
Right.
the
It's
veil
not
is
really.
over our eye, right, Sissy? And when
Mm-hmm.
the veil is over your eye, you're like a walking zombie. You don't know self, you don't know nothing.
Crash into
The minute
everything.
that you connect with him, you start to see how you treat people. You start to see how you treat yourself. And he's like, yo, you're my temple. If I made you and you're my temple, why are you abusing my temple?
Right.
And so what we have to do is definitely understand that's where you discover self. Once you discover self, then you start working on self with him, and he shows you, hey, this is what you need to change, because I love you so much and I don't want you to self-destruct. Thank you, Sissy. I don't want you to self-destruct, and so here it is. And once you do that, oh, Sissy, the rest of, I can love you because I now know self. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to cheers, and I don't have to run down a man. Guess why? Because now I know self. You can't discover self without discovering your creator.
Right.
Because you didn't make yourself. Your creator designed you the way he designed you.
Absolutely. I agree.
Go
I
to the
agree.
manufacturer. Go to the manufacturer.
You have to always go back to where it's made, to the creator, right?
Thank you,
Always
Nikki.
go back to the creator. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
This
Thank you
was
so much
so
for
good.
participating. This was beautiful. We had another wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sisters at the table. Unfortunately, my other two sisters had to work and they couldn't have been here to join us. But we did a great job, Car. We did an absolutely great job with this. And for those of you who are watching here and on YouTube, thank you guys for always being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking and for sharing. All right. And until next time, we will see you guys again at Sisters at the Table.
Yeah, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for allowing us another time, another opportunity to gather together so we can discuss, this life matters, but we know that you are supreme. You are the high power. So we just thank you for loving us. Thank you for just giving us the opportunity to let others hear our voices and our testimony. As Tracy's about to go to work, I pray that you protect and guide her. Thank you for all the ladies that were able to join, all the men that are able to join. I pray that you, oh God, will be the center for them. You reveal yourself unto them, and just thank you. Protect them, keep them safe and their families safe, and may their store basket never be empty.